Whoa. Okay. We're live. Look alive. Say hello. Say hello. Hey guys, I'm Joe. This is the Rebels Advocate, and we are live for the first time in front of a crowd of thousands. Just kidding. Nobody's watching this. Didn't give much of a warning. It's the first time I've ever tried going live. I hope it's working. I have no clue. One of the reasons why I wanted to go live is I feel like that's the only way I want to get a video out. What? Let me put this steering wheel down, maybe. Well, that's as far as it goes. So people can see you. Or do you want to sit over here? Huh? So you can look at the camera? Yeah. Oh, are you shy? She just woke up and literally I had to sit. Had the countdown going for when I was going to start, which really didn't matter. Nobody's waiting. Then her feeding tube went crazy, didn't it? We had a tough time. But the reason I was going to make this video, one, is just to apologize because I haven't made a video in several weeks, and I apologize for that. And I don't like making excuses, but here they come anyway. I'm going to make some anyway, and oh, Peyton. You know, life has been hectic. As you guys that follow the channel know, stepdad's been real bad sick, and he's not getting any better. It's just getting worse. Baby girl, she had surgery a week or so ago, and I've been in physical therapy. I tore a muscle in my bicep, which didn't seem to be a big deal, wasn't bothering me that much, and I swear it's getting worse. I think it's got worse since I started therapy, but I don't know, it's just a lot of excuses, but I gotta work harder, gotta find the time. I do have a couple ideas. I'm hoping this rain holds off because there are more videos I need to make outside. But a couple of, you know, I want to bring God back. I think God's gonna make a, oh, you get mommy's pop. God's gonna make a visit in an upcoming video. Had a little video planned on this whole Kaepernick Nike thing. By the way, I'm wearing my Nikes right now. If I was flexible, I'd pull my feet up here to show you. But also, in the time that between my last video and today, I've actually made, I've made 3 videos. 3 videos, and none of them have gotten posted. And that's one reason why I figured I'd do this live video, and maybe I'll actually get a video on YouTube for once. But I recorded 2. A couple weeks ago, I recorded one. I was talking about the guy with the snake handler that got bit. Kind of talking about that. I made one talking about this whole the priests in Pennsylvania, the Catholic Church, and all these, you know, child rape and molestation, all that shit that was going on. And then just shoot, I can't even remember, a couple nights ago, I sit back and I sit down and I had a little bit of moonshine, a little bit of beer, and I just sit down outside on the porch and I just talked, and probably for about 2 hours. And you know, it was a lot of rambling. I don't know how good it would have been after I edited it, but I went to edit it and my microphone just cut out. Like 20 minutes in, it just cut out, and I lost everything. So that stunk. And the other 2 videos, I was having problems with them. I was having problems with my iPhone storage. Again, I'm just making a bunch of excuses. I don't want to bother you with details, but long story short, they never got posted. So I thought I'd just kind of make this video and apologize for that, maybe talk a little while the wife is in Walmart grocery shopping. Because we like to hang out while Mama shops, don't we? Sometimes we go in, sometimes we just hang out here. But before I get started, a big thank you to Brandon Shaw, his latest Patreon donor, a $10 patron, and $10 patrons get a shout out on every video. thank you, Brandon. Brandon's a good friend, a great guy who I don't know personally, but kind of got to know online, and I really appreciate that. A big deal. And if you want to become a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/TheRebelsAdvocate. And also shout out to Kim D. Luck, and her and her husband are patron. We got 3 patrons total. I think her husband's name's Lloyd. The patron's in her name, but I think he commented there. I believe his name was Lloyd. Appreciate you guys, and of course my first patron, James Valiant. Really appreciate you guys, and to everybody else, everybody that watches and shares and comments, likes, I just appreciate you guys watching my content. And for anybody, like, I don't expect anybody to give, and if $4 or $5 a month puts you in a hard spot, I definitely don't want you to give. So, but for those who do, I appreciate it. So anyway, the first video I did was talking about the snake handler, and that happened, and that's old news by now. And probably most of y'all maybe have seen the videos of it, and I watched it. I didn't really know what to expect when I watched it, because so many people, especially like atheist groups and stuff, of course it's easy to make fun of, it's easy to laugh at. I mean, seriously, anybody dumb enough to pick up a rattlesnake and get bit, you kind of feel like they deserve to be laughed at. But I don't know, I guess just how I was raised up in Pentecostal church, I don't feel that removed from snake handlers. We didn't handle snakes. But even the Christians, even the people I grew up with, went to church with, even a lot of those people laugh and make fun of people that would handle a snake. Which, I mean, I get it. It is stupid. But I felt more sympathy, and I felt sorry for the guy when I watched it. And I watched it the moment it happened, the moment the snake, struck him and bit him in his ear. You could see fear, but another thing that I saw in his eyes that I recognized, for myself from a previous life, is I saw faith. I saw a guy who believed, in power, who believed that Jonathan Chapman, hello, just shout out, he's watching. What's going on, buddy? But I saw a guy who believed in what he was doing, believed that he's doing the right thing, and believed in it. And you seen him call for oh goodness, you beeping the horn, you silly girl. He wanted them to keep singing, keep praising, keep doing all that, to keep the adrenaline up, but in his mind to keep the spirit there. And of course, it don't take long when you got rattlesnake venom running through your veins. It don't take long for that faith to be replaced with fear, and you saw that fear start creeping in. But here's a guy who watched his dad die from the exact same thing. Pick up a snake, get bit, and not make it. And these are people who believe, for the most part, I think they're good at spinning the narrative just like any Christian. But to hear them talk, it's kind of like, as long as you ain't got sin in your heart and you're doing what you need to do, you'll be okay. So if you die, that must mean you're doing something wrong. But they can spin it, just like any Christian can. Like, well, and even I think at one point in an earlier video of him, you hear him talk about how, well, if it's your time to go, you're going to go. So I'm sure they spin it that way. But to watch people get bit, to watch them die, your own family, and then do that anyway. Do you want Teddy instead of holding a pop? It takes a level of whatever, what they would call faith, whatever you want to call it, but believing that this is real. And it makes you, you can laugh at it, and that's fine. I ain't condemning anybody that laughs at it, because it is kind of funny and stupid to be dumb enough to pick up a rattlesnake. But I guess what I'm saying is, I can understand how you get there. Being raised in a church where we run on the backs of the pews and rolled on the floor and shouted and, you know, headbanged like it was at a heavy metal concert. Like, I get it, you know. I kind of understand how you get to that place, and to see people who, you know, I grew up with that wouldn't go to the hospital and instead believing that they'd be healed, and then, you know, dying. And while everybody that I went to church with didn't believe like that, they wouldn't make fun of people within their church that did that. You know, they respected their beliefs. Yeah, they'll laugh at somebody for oh no. They'll laugh at somebody for picking up a snake. And I don't know. I can see how you get to that point to do it. But it just shows you the danger of religion. You know, if you're not picking up snakes, it can make you do something. When you believe that hard, when you believe that much, you know, in something, it'll make you do some crazy shit. And that dude's lucky to still be alive. You know, and then I've seen stuff on Facebook. I did a search. You know, sometimes I like to search little keywords in Facebook, just see the posts that come up from some of your friends throughout the years. And I just typed in God is good. God is good. And I don't want to get too specific. I don't, you know, bring people out, but because I was thinking about that, of how Christians can spin anything, the narrative. Because I've said it before, they're the best PR people in the world when it comes to the PR for God and trying to give him a positive spin. Boy, they can do it. What are you wanting? You ain't getting my pop. My pop's open. You'll have it everywhere. But they're really good at that. And I typed in God is good, and there's a lot of different things come up from, you know, just simple stuff. Like, you know, I found my car keys, or, you know, I was almost late for work, but this happened, or whatever. God is good. You know, just simple, silly stuff, to stuff that would make you cringe. Like people who had lost their second child, and still being able to say, but God is good. And it's just, you know, I'm not going to argue with people like that. I'm not going to try to, you know, anything like that. But it just shows you the mindset of people and how strong some people's belief can be, even without evidence, to where it doesn't matter what happens, how it happens. They can spin any story, and it can be really dangerous. It can lead people down a bad path. And it can also lead people to be afraid to question anything. And I think that's why a lot of people are afraid to ask some of the questions that myself and some other atheists that might be watching this, that how you ended up becoming an atheist. You know, other people are afraid to ask those questions that we had to ask, that, you know, we wanted answers to. And it also makes people afraid to question anything going on within the church, and that leads me to the second video I made. And I won't dwell on this very long, but just talking about the Catholic priest and this shit that happened in Pennsylvania, which, I mean, it's kind of shocking just how huge and just the magnitude of it. Thousands of victims. You know, in one state, in Pennsylvania alone, I think over 300 priests have been alleged to have committed these crimes. And then, you know, just hundreds more involved in the cover-up of this, of children being molested, of being raped and assaulted, and it's just disgusting. This is the Catholic Church, and this has been going on for years and years and years, and we've known about it overseas, and it's just like, you know, other places. It just seems like it's always somewhere else. But, you know, this really hits close to home. Really? Really? You stinker butt. You stinker butt. And nobody seems to be talking about it. Okay, here, I didn't see all that comment, but I think it's the same guy who watching who's keeping on to me, wants to become vegan. And I actually was wanting to make a video about that in the future. I may do so. But, oh, you want it again just so you can throw it? Where are you going to throw it? Oh, you silly goose. You silly goose. What was Daddy saying? But, anyway, what amazed me is when all this happened, and it's just so despicable and it's so unbelievable. Like, I seen a lot of it, like, through, like, atheist groups and stuff that I'm in. But other than that, my Facebook, it was crickets. Nobody talking about it. Nobody talking about this. I even asked my wife, who, you know, my wife's not an atheist. She's not in any of these groups. And I asked her, I was like, you know, where have you saw this story other than, like, me telling you about it? She's like, nowhere. Like, you know, not saying, you know, I know it's on, like, national news and this and that, but as far as people talking about it on social media, like, outside of my groups, nobody. So I made a post about it. And what amazed me is I could understand it if it was within, like, our churches. But, like, my church, like, they do not agree with the Catholics. They think all the Catholics are going to hell. They, you know, it's not like they're on board with the Catholics, but they're still, like, so quiet about it. And I just couldn't, and I made a post about it, you know, couldn't understand why nobody's talking about this, and still it's just crickets, you know, other than the couple people that are atheists or, you know, kind of on my side of the fence a little bit. But I didn't understand that, and it wasn't that long ago, if you remember, when all the bathroom bills and all that was going on. And that is all you heard about. You know, trans people in the bathrooms, and oh, it's all about the kids and just my poor babies, and they're scared to death somebody's going to go in the bathroom. And if you're outraged about that, the possibility that maybe, just perhaps, you know, something's going to happen to these kids in the bathroom just because of this bill, but yet you're silent when there's thousands of victims, just thousands upon thousands of kids being molested and raped over and over, and then it being covered up over and over, and you're silent about it, you ain't got nothing to say, then don't tell me that it's about the kids when you're going on and on about these bathroom bills. You're full of shit. And I'm not saying that these people don't care about kids. What I'm saying is that's not their motivation for taking the stand that they did. Their motivation was they don't like trans people. So just come out and tell us that, you know. But I still don't understand. I can't, like, I kind of get the Catholics who are, you know, quiet about it. Maybe, you know, they don't want to point out, but I can't understand the Protestants, like, who don't agree with the Catholics anyway, and it's like they're afraid to even question that. Like, I don't get it, and it pisses me off, and it's got to the point, the Catholic Church, the Pope, like, no, they're not doing shit about this. And at what point do we just call it what it is and say, you know, this is a criminal organization, you know? And I know it gets a little sketchy, and you're talking about going against a religion, it seems like, but at some point, if they don't do something to fix this, to confront the problem that they got going on, instead of saying, you know, we need to pray about it, you don't pray about child predators you got in your organization. You do something about it. You weed them out. It just pisses me off, guys. People are seriously there. And then after I said that, you know, talked about that, why are people so quiet? Then, of course, this whole Nike thing happened. And Nike signed Colin Kaepernick. And now nobody can shut up about that on my news feed. They're burning their Nikes and boycotting Nike and everything else. Oh my goodness. Look what you did. You want to play with them? Huh? Go ahead and break them. And it's just, I don't know. I stay riled up. Like, I went on a big blocking spree here back. And I've had a few people block me. Go figure. And it actually did. It made my Facebook a little better. It's a lot better than what it used to be. But I don't want to live in an echo chamber. But at the same time, you know, And I kind of need some of those crazy people because they help fuel the fire and help get me on YouTube here making these videos and give me some shit to talk about. Like They're Crazy gives me some good topics from time to time, but at the same time it almost gets unhealthy because it gets to the point it just makes you want to pull your hair out, and I ain't got much hair to pull out, and I've cut most of my beard off now, so I ain't even got a beard to pull out. But I've cleaned it up some, but it's still, you know, it's just, everybody's all worried about that. And I remember it was all, you know, I don't care for people protesting, just do it peacefully, just, you know, do it peacefully. And now they're doing the most peaceful protest they can do, and now it's, well, I don't care if you protest, but let me tell you how you you know, one person was talking about, well, if you want to protest, you hold some signs on the side of the road. Yeah, well, you know, if they were holding signs on the side of the road, guess who would be talking about that? Guess what news organizations will be covering that? Nobody. You wouldn't even know it was happening. That's the whole point of protest. You gotta get people's attention. And they've done it in probably the best way possible, in the most peaceful way possible. And they even, you know, when Colin Kaepernick, his first time doing it, you know, he sit down. He just sit through the national anthem, and then a veteran actually reached out to him, and they kind of had a sit down, a talk, and it was a veteran who suggested to him, like, hey, how about if you want to do this, you want to call attention to this issue, take a knee. You know, a knee kind of still shows respect for the servicemen and women, and it allows you to do your protest. And he actually, you know, listened to him, respected his opinion, and said, hey, I think I'll do that. Seems like, you know, that would be a powerful statement, and that's what he did. But no one, you know, to look at both sides of it, that's too nuanced and too much to ask from some people, I guess. But yeah, I'm planning on making a little video on that tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather holds up. Just a little something funny that some people might think is funny, a good point to make, and some people probably get pissed, get mad. I done lost a couple friends and family over some other shit here back. I went into detail about that last night, but you know, in a way, it don't bother me. But like here back during the whole during one of the shootings, I think it's where it started. This one guy's my cousin, who married my cousin, so he's cousin by marriage. We were arguing about gun control and this and that. And the thing is, you know, it'd be one thing if it was a gun nut and a anti-gun person arguing back and forth, but you're talking about a gun nut and I'm not a gun nut, but a gun owner. Like, I got a gun cabinet full of guns. I own guns. You know, it ain't like I'm anti-gun. I do question sometimes whether it's a good thing, but, you know, I kind of, you know, and I question it for a long time. I kind of come to the conclusion that I'd probably keep them, because I probably plan on in the future getting back into hunting, to be honest. I know that's not gonna make my vegan buddy happy, but it might happen in the future. I might get back to hunting, and I do have a handgun, and I kind of decided, you know, I'll keep them locked up, and that's my decision. That's what I decided to do. But anyway, we were talking, and I think the argument I may have been making was, I'm okay if we do, you know, if I would honestly probably be okay with a complete ban on like AR-15 and military style weapons like that. And y'all don't, and I realize the AR-15 isn't a military weapon. You don't have to inform me that. I do know that. But, you know, those types of weapons. And I don't care to have an argument back and forth, but the argument he hit me with was, well, actually, if you take such and such shotgun, he knows a lot more about guns than I do. He named some shotgun, and you use such and such shell, and what it, you know, with a shotgun, you got, you know, you kind of got your shells. You got either a slug. Oh my goodness, you broke that plumb off. I'm gonna take that before you end up with a little piece. Oh my goodness. You end up eating part of it. Here, you can play with the glasses. We'll play with the glasses. We'll put them on. Oh yeah. So what's up, guys? What's up? But he's like, yeah, if you have such and such shotgun, such and such shells, which, you know, are, you know, when it shoots, it has a bunch of pellets which spread out. And he's like, it comes up to like 200 and some projectiles within before you have to reload. So, you know, I don't know, it's like 8 or 9 shells it would hold, and then all the projectiles that equaled 200. And so he was basically saying, so you would have more bullets than you could get with an extended clip in an AR-15. That was his argument he was making to me. And like I said, I don't care having a civil back and forth, but at that point, you're not having an honest conversation. That's ridiculous. You know, you're just being like for real. Like, you're telling me because projectile. It just, and so at that point, I just kind of lost patience with him a little bit. Then fast forward a little later, I can't remember exactly what was back. It was let's see. I think it was back when Trump was said something about death penalty for drug dealers, maybe. And I was arguing maybe we shouldn't kill people just for doing drugs. And for some reason, when you argue that we shouldn't kill people, that makes you the bad guy, I guess. And so he was arguing pretty hard with me there, and then he made a statement that really ticked me off. He said, so you're telling me you'd be okay with somebody selling drugs to Peyton, which is my daughter? And it just, oh, it made me mad. Like, for one thing, don't misrepresent my argument. Don't, you know, that really ticks me off. And you're not having an honest conversation. And when he said it, it upset me so bad. And don't bring my daughter into it, you know. Like I'm arguing we shouldn't put people to death. So that means I'm saying, yeah, I'm okay with somebody selling drugs to my little girl. And I could have really went off on him, but I think the only thing I really said was, I said, are you just trying to be a prick, or are you really that stupid? That's what I said. I didn't think that was too harsh. His wife, my cousin, come on there right after that and was like, oh, I put up with a lot, but I can't put up with this, blah, blah, blah. You call my husband stupid, and I gotta delete you. So she deleted me, and her sister deleted me. And actually, the guy, I don't think ever did delete me, but I just blocked them all. I was like, you know, because it's not like we were having any kind of productive conversation. But it's just, that's the kind of shit dealing with. And it just upset me. But the more people like that I've got off my Facebook, it has made me a little more sane. You know, it hasn't been as bad. Of course, I couldn't delete them all because then, but you know, if people want to have a decent conversation, we can. Are you getting restless? You saying that you think it's time to call it quits? But we're going to get out there tomorrow. Hopefully make a couple videos to come out in the next few days. And I'll try to get back on schedule. Try to be a little more frequent with my videos. It's hard to do because, you know, I've had so much going on. And like I said, we've been spending a lot of time either at my mom's house or in the hospital. My stepdad, he's back in the hospital now. And, you know, we've been trying to help them keep up yard work over there and in my house. And so it's been a little hectic, but I want to get back to leave the lights off. Want to get back to doing it. Tell everybody bye. But we are going to go. And again, a big thank you to Brandon Shaw, to Kim D. Luck, and James Valiant. All you guys, appreciate it a bunch. And we're going to go for now. But hopefully we'll see you tomorrow or Monday or one of those days. See you guys. Thanks for watching. I don't even know how to end it, actually. Yeah, okay. And we're out.